Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the newly released Reborn's 100 Hamma Hamma. Now, this is one of the mobile suits that I always wanted to have as a kid, HG, MG, or any kit in any way whatsoever, and it finally happened. And this is my first Reborn's 100 kit, and I am overwhelmed by it. What I mean by overwhelmed is that I am really impressed by the quality. This thing basically exceeded my expectations of a Reborn's 100 kit, to the point where now I have a huge amount of faith and in the Reborn 100s line, and I am willing to try more Reborn 100 kits now. Anyway, let's get on to the review. First of all, I'm not sure how long this review is going to be because I might be talking a lot about this kit a lot. So let's get on to it. Now, first of all, let's get rid of the usual. This is the amount of polycaps that you don't use, the leftovers. You get only 3 stickers, and all these stickers are unnecessary in my own opinion. I will point out which part these stickers are supposed to go. And then we get a decal sticker sheet. Whoops. I did not use any of these yet because I wanted to show you guys how it looks like when you just finish building the kit right off the box, or right out of the box. Okay, you can see that you will be seeing these lights a lot in this review because this kit is gigantic. I mean, this thing is freaking big. You know what? Let's get on with the size comparison right off the bat. This is a normal master grade size, way bigger than the master grade. So yeah, I will be zooming in soon, but I just wanted to show you guys how big that was. What else you get is these 4 stands that have some joints. You get 2 of the same and 2 of a different one that for the connector. This is for the half income hand effect, but I tested these out and these aren't exactly the best, but I will show you guys how these work. And then you get these kind of cables. Now you get, let's see, you get about, this is a 25 centimeter cut, and you get about, let's see, about 55 or 60 centimeter cables like these. You get 3 of them. You have to cut, you have to have 2 25 centimeters, and then you have to have like 2 10 centimeters and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of odd, like how the amount they give you is a lot. What I'm assuming is that they basically gave you options to allow you to make it how long as much as you want, and those cables go into these arm extending parts. Now this is the one that you're supposed to use, the 110 centimeter cable, I believe, but I basically used a 25, and this is how it turned out. And it's pretty interesting. You can basically control the amount of length for this part, so you get 2 of these. I will only demonstrate only on one arm. You get another one for, you need 2 connectors. Once again, this is kind of pretty much fixed because of the middle yellow section here. Okay, so that's that. You get some leftover pieces. Mostly you get this small piece, and then you get 4 of these clear connectors, which I'm not sure what you don't actually use these, so I'm not sure. Maybe they have a different purpose for a different kit that's about to come out, or for a P-Bandai variant for this kit. Who knows? Okay, now you get 2 beam saber effects, 2 long yellow ones. I'm only gonna show you guys one. You get 2 beam saber hilts. Okay, technically you get 4. 2 of them are the opened up ones. Yeah, they do have an interesting design, but yeah, you get 2 of these. And you get the other 2 are the stored up version. These are the ones that are folded up. You don't actually use these just stay in the shield forever. Yeah, I think they did a good job on this one. And you get its gigantic shield, which is also a weapon. I am really impressed. I thought this would be just a mold, but the Xeon symbol was actually a separate piece where you just put it in. I am very impressed. And also, I did do a little bit of panel lining on the kits, this and there, a little bit. So yeah, and as you can see, this kit requires you to do a full ton of panel lining. So if you're a guy who's like a perfectionist and who can't stand panel lining stuff, you might get a little bit stressed out on this kit. Okay, and you get an action-based connector, which I won't show you guys. I mean, when I mean I won't show you guys, I mean I won't be showing it on an action base for my review. Okay, now let's get on to the review. There's so much stuff to talk about, and this kit has some balance issues because this thing is really top heavy. So I'm really hoping that I do not drop this or this thing does not fall off. Okay, now let's start with the head. The head, I think they really aced the design. Whoa, okay, sorry about that. I think they really aced the design of the head because it looks fantastic. It has a lot of those horns. Of course, these horns or fins, they are going to be, you know, fragile. I mean, it's been like that since any kit, any antennas, any V fins. They have always been fragile, or mostly the most fragile part on the kit. So who knows? The inside mono-eye is a clear pink piece, and according to the manual, you're supposed to put a sticker on top of that. But I think it's pretty much enough. So you don't really need to put a sticker on top of it. So I'm trying to take out what you're supposed to be able to do is that you can take off the top part of the head and then move the mono-eye left and right, but you can technically just push them around since it has a big area like that. You can just push them around. There you go, you see that? So yeah, you can go left and right, and those cables, these yellow cables you see or pipes, are not rubber, they're plastic, and the head can go as far as that much. It can go down, up, and left and right a little bit. I don't expect this to go 360 because of those gigantic long horns as you see. So yeah, also the head kind of reminds me of a mass production type of a Zaku 3, so I would not be too surprised if a Zaku 3 mass production type happens in Reborns 100. That's just me though. Okay, now that's that for the head. Let's look at the main body. The main body is pretty interesting. There's two pink clear pieces. One is on the chest and one is inside the body, or on the body, whatever you call it. Those are also clear pink pieces. What they also tell you to do is put a sticker on top of them. I find that really unnecessary, so that's why I did not use them. And they are just the perfect pink I want. So yeah. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I almost knocked off something. Okay, the main body has some interesting movements. The body can move like this. You have some twisting action on the left and right, twisting action like that. And then there's no ab crunch, so there's no forward and backward movement on the main body. So that's that. And let's look at the back. For the pipes, I only tried to panel line the first front, because I was trying to do something. I don't know why, but maybe it's the quality of plastics that's different, because when I was doing the HGUC VO, it worked pretty well, and this one did not work too well. I have no idea why. Okay, so let's look at the back. There's nothing too special going in the back, but you will see that this thing has a bunch of these thrusters, and those are all separate pieces. These round parts, they're all separate pieces, so it might get annoying to a certain degree, if you ask me. There's nothing that moves a lot, but on the sides and waist you have all these thrusters that can move around like that. Oh, this one does not move too much. I mean, like that. Depending on where you pose it, it might get hindered, but most of the time these things move a lot. Okay, now let's look at the arms. The arms, they are pretty interesting. These gigantic shoulders, they don't really get into the way, but let's look at the articulation. You can go 90 degrees to the side like that. You have your typical 360 twist, and you can bend the arm like that. Technically, what you can also do is you can take off this middle joint and then connect this arm to this part directly, but you would lose the mobility like that. You won't be able to bend that. So that's that. Yeah, so the spinning section is right here, not on top. It can go to the side. You can go 360 like that. And once again, only like a 90 degrees bend, but for a kid or slash mobile suit like this, I think that's more than enough. And the arms can go, or shoulders can go forward and backward like that. So yeah, that is a very good articulation. The claws, you can spin them like this, and you can move the claws like that if you want to do so. And this is one of those interesting mobile suits where they have a claw. They use a claw hand, however, but is able to use a beam saber, which I will demonstrate later. Okay, I'm having really trouble balancing this guy, so hopefully I don't drop it. Okay, now let's look at the waist. The waist, it's a really big waist. Oh boy, and yeah, The way how the waist connect is that you just basically clip on these. So if you go over a certain angle, it will pop off. So that's something that you should be careful of, if you ask me. And all these red sections here are all separate pieces, as you see on the thrusters. So that is a very good color separation. Yeah, so I did not use any stickers once again, and I only applied a little bit of panel lining, but it looks fantastic out of the box right off the bat. So you can move these around, but don't go up too high or they will pop off. So they're not any loose by any means, but if you kind of force them, they will pop off. Okay, now let's look at the legs. The legs have, oh wait, let me just move these a little bit up. You do have a side swivel like that, and then the leg can go, okay, that's what I was talking about. That if you go over a certain amount, it will pop off. It can go not exactly 90 degrees because of the design. It's kind of like in an angle, so that's as far as you go. Let me just do that, and you get a 90-degree bend, which is kind of a interesting bend. And this knee part moves also has its own articulation for some reason, and you have these cables going on, or pipes going on in the kit a lot, and somehow this part is popping out a little bit more often than the other side. Okay, that's that. And the feet are your typical well, not I wouldn't say ball joint, but they're kind of pegged in, and there's a poly cap that can move left and you can move this like that, and yeah, you can move forward and backward as well. I wouldn't say these are like on a ball joint, but it works very well, more on a peg system. And these tools also have some articulation like that. They can move a lot. So I guess depending on the ground you attach this to, you can flatten the feet for the right situation. Okay, now we've seen its basic articulation. For now, besides the arms and legs, it has a very good amount of articulation, if you ask me. And considering the design of this kit, I think Bandai did pull off very well for that. Of course, because this kit is very, very top heavy, it's kind of, as you see, it's really difficult to balance this kit. And because of those moving knees, it's kind of really difficult to know if I'm posing the legs properly. The legs itself aren't that loose. However, what I find a little bit loose, well, when I mean loose, it's not exactly loose. It's like it's been oiled up, so it's like moves really smoothly like that. So the connection between the side swivel and the waist section, that part feels a little bit too smooth. I think that should have been a little bit more stiff for a top heavy kit like this. But I think if you paint that area or do something, I think that would be an easy fix. Okay, now since I got this guy balanced, now let's look at its accessory, or only main weapon that it can hold, is the beam saber. The way how the beam saber is held is, and I think I'll show you guys on this arm. There's no exactly hole in here, but you have a peg. What you can peg. Now these are its beam cannons. You can plug the peg into that middle section, and it will hold it like that. And all you need to do is just close the claws, and it looks like it's holding. I actually really like this effect. I was kind of wondering how they would pull this off, and I think they aced it. Okay, now that's that. Now let's look at the shield. The shield, okay, this shield is very big and heavy, so with a top heavy kit like this is not exactly the best combination ever. So on the arms you have a hole on top and on the bottom there. Also you can spin the claws if you want to. You can move the claws. I'm going to close the claws for now, because they do kind of hinder the process. There's a peg here, and just need to plug it in like that. It's a firm connection. However, because of the additional weight, now balancing it with the kit is going to be a really challenge like that. As you see, it was kind of getting tough, front heavy, but it is technically possible to pose, and you can actually make it look like it's firing its cannon like that. I really love the shield. Overall, I just really love this mobile suit, so I'm basically just gonna forgive any balance issues on this kit, because I was actually technically expecting some balance issues, because look at the design. Come on, this thing is supposed to have some balance issues, and this was only seen in space, so yeah, that's kind of the downside of the mobile suits, where if it's used only in space, it's really going to be difficult to balance it as a kit sometimes. Okay, now we've seen its equipment. Now let's look at its effect parts. The effect parts, I'm just going to show you guys one example. What you need or what the instruction manual tells you to do is to prepare one of each with different connectors. You have to take off the arm like that, and you have to take off this middle joint where is the main articulation of the arm. You have to take off the claw, and then you have to take off this plastic part, which is not too easy to take off. It's one of the most stuckest part, if you ask me. And then you attach this part right over here, and then you reattach the claw like that. The claw does not, it's an easy, you know, it's an easy fit. Whoa, okay. I think it might be my fan that just, you know, knocked it off. And then you have this connector right here. You have a peg, and here, just connect it. And then what you're supposed to do is that you have this peg version. You have to peg the arm like this, and then in front of the claw you have to attach this part on right over here. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these kind of effects, so yeah. Hey, what the heck? Man, did I just miss something? Okay, you know what, whatever. Okay, I honestly don't know what's happening right now, but yeah, what you're supposed to do is do something like this. Oh, sorry, my bad. You're supposed to do something like this. You're supposed to hold it. However, the length of these stands is not enough. It's lower than the actual mobile suit unless you like bend it like this. So this is what the manual tells you to do, and I'm not too happy with this, and I was never a fan of these such effects. So this is what you're supposed to do, and as you saw, it's not the best effect ever. So yeah, I think what the best situation would be to get an actual action base and then connect all of these parts at the right height and angle, so you don't, you know, get a messy stand, what you just saw. And yeah, these cables will be a little bit tricky to lock them in place because they don't try to stay. What they tell you to do is at the end you fold it up and then like press it down, like a lot of stuff we see in in the camphor and other such. Come on, get off. So yeah, that was pretty much my review of the Reborn 100 Hamma Hamma. For now, I'm not gonna like say right off the bat this is the best Reborns 100 kit ever, because I haven't built any other Reborns 100 kits. However, according to information on Facebook that I've been posting my build of this kit, a lot of people were telling me that ever since the Reborn 100 every Kai, Bau, and this kit has been a very big amount of improvement compared to the first Reborn 100 kits line, like the Gundam Mark III, the GPO4, the Nightingale, the DJ, and such. So yeah, but I'm still willing to try those. But one thing for sure is that the company is, like, I can see that, or I can assume that they are doing their best to improve the quality of the Reborn 100 line. And thanks to this kit, I am now more, you know, certain that the Reborn 100 line will be able to pull off more kits than this, because if they basically pulled off one of the most, you know, interesting and awkward design mobile suit in a Reborn 100 kit. So I am very, very excited for the future. For this kit, this was my first Reborn 100 kit, but I wouldn't say this would be the best for a first timer for Reborn 100. Maybe like if you build like a few, then you can go for this. But I would not recommend this for beginners, because mostly of the amount of panel lining and the balance issue that you know, as you just saw. But overall, if you're a big fan of this mobile suit, or like a fan of odd design mobile suits like me, this is definitely for you. I have no regrets buying this. I really love it. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the Reborn 100 Hamma Hamma. Before I end this off, I almost forgot to mention about one more articulation. If you're wondering if you can move the main body despite those cables, then the answer is yes. You can actually technically spin the body 360. Almost a 360. Somehow something's hindering the process, but yeah, you can move a lot like that. Sorry for the awkward cut over there, but anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the newly released Reborn 100 Hamma Hamma. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more kits to buy and review, so please stay tuned. If I also got anything wrong, leave a comment below as well. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you guys next time.